Hey, welcome back to the channel. It's been a while. I've been busy, and the weather has been crap, so there's no fun in going out recording when the weather is bad. We've been discussing in class a topic close to my heart. We're getting into psychiatric diseases and conditions, and of course, I'm sitting there not commenting on my own thing, but it's there in the back of my mind always. Anyways, one topic is sympathy or empathy, and how that works and how it doesn't work. When you work in healthcare, you're supposed to be caring. You're supposed to feel empathy for people that are struggling and so on. This is hard because the variable that's looming there, big as the biggest elephant in the room, is this is conditional. It's very much conditional. If you're dealing with a person that is, in any way an asshole or just not very likable, then it becomes hard. Really hard to, muster the energy to help this person. And it's the same thing if it's just a generally nasty person laying there, like a gangster that's been shot. Maybe. I'm just being honest. It's not the priority person you might feel when it comes to empathy because of the person's background. That's just how we work, people. We divide people, we categorize people. In healthcare, we're not supposed to do that. We're supposed to categorize them by their priority, their need of healthcare. If you're very hurt, you are supposed to get help faster than a less wounded or hurt or sick person, and that's fair. That's the only objective way of dealing with it. I'm not objecting to that at all. The thing is when we are supposed to feel in a certain way, when we are told to feel in a particular way, empathy, and supposed to be guided into feeling in certain ways. That's where I object. That's where I'm not at all online with this, because you can't really tell a person how to feel about other people. It doesn't work like that. It's a primal instinct on how we feel towards other people, and it's one of the most significant thing is how they are acting towards you. If they are in any way hostile or nasty and so on, it is very much more difficult to feel empathy. And this is not just a professional thing. I can also, from personal experience, talk about how when you have someone in your family that suffers from something, and then they are in complete denial of this, and they are being very aggressive about it, and the consequence of this is that they are also lashing out and all kinds of shit, basically, then it becomes really hard to feel empathic about this. And it's very annoying when you're talking to people who say, well, you must understand, he's suffering from this, and so on. Yeah, I know it is. That's not the issue. The issue, he's not really willing to accept this, or in some strange denial of this, and it's been going on for years. Then it becomes hard, really hard to help and to be supportive and to be accepting. This is hard when it comes to a kid that's troublesome. It's downright impossible when we're talking about an adult that's fully reasonable in other cases. Then it becomes really hard. And I choose from the very first start, when I realized I had borderline, to fully accept this. to fully recognize this and to fully acknowledge that, hey, I'm doing dumb shit because of my borderline. I am accepting that I have borderline. That doesn't mean I am my disease, my condition. I'm just accepting it. And I won't ever lash out towards someone who tries to bring it up, who knows it. Very few people do, but those who know it, because that's okay. And this is the most important thing, I have dealt with this. I've sought care. I've done a whole bunch of things for self-care, especially, and I'm feeling better, a lot better. Things have improved greatly over the course of the last year, especially. I mean, the first year after I got diagnosed, that basically, yeah, there were some bright spots, and I felt good from time to time, but I constantly fell back into bad spots, really, really bad spots, because I didn't deal with the actual problem. You know, in my case, it was hanging around with my ex, because that just triggered it up all the time. Now I don't. We don't meet because of this. We talk on the phone, and it seems to be working out doing so, but we are not meeting. We haven't met since last November. And I don't have any plan of meeting her now, because I can't really deal with it, because it flares up feelings and stuff like, and I don't need that. I need to move on. This is the core of my treatment, basically, and I acknowledge this and so on. And if I can do this, I'm at a point where it's very hard for me to accept people around me with far less problems, far less excuses, really, that can't deal with their shit. That is difficult. I can be empathic with people who are in my same condition as me or worse, for sure. But there's a lot of people out there that are basically in complete denial, and it's sometimes their own fault. Those people are hard to be empathic with. They are, yeah. They have built a trench around themselves. They have dug themselves down. They have set up defenses and so on. And yeah, I'm sorry, but I'm not inclined to walking into the crossfire of their defense strategy. I'm not interested in suffering for their cause, their sake. Also, I've noticed, and this is why I don't really work on the floor with patients while I'm going for a more administrative role in healthcare, is I struggle with feeling empathic with people who are just moaning and complaining about trivial stuff. I can't help but to feel that they are ridiculous. We are taught everywhere, so this is not the point. We're taught everywhere to feel empathic, and that everything is relative to what the person is used to. I get that. I get the fact that I have suffered from borderline with depression and all kinds of hellish mental problems for decades. I get that makes me probably quite used to certain things. They look trivial to me, to say the least. Really trivial. Just the same way as someone who's suffered, third-degree burns all over the body will look at someone moaning and complaining about a little bruise on their arm like, what the hell are you talking about? And I struggle with people creating a relative pain scale for that case, because if you say this is number 10, this is the worst pain I've ever suffered, I believe you, sure. But But really, come on, what use is that to me on the other side, on the receiving line? What interest is that information for me, really? Especially when, especially if you're a person not willing to do something about it. On top of that, yeah, so you're suffering, you're struggling, you're feeling shit, and you're not doing anything to make it better. And it's just trivial stuff in my point of view. I'm sorry, my empathy will be lacking. As the same way it probably is in the perspective of someone who looks at me and said, what the hell are you on about with your problems, with your mental health issues and so on? Come on, get over it. Everyone's suffered from, broken heart, relationship issues and so on. I get it. I fully get it, because I'm the same way about loads of stuff. Constantly. So, the point is, if you have an excuse, a valid one, I think a condition is one of those good excuses. I mean, the bruise on the arm could be really, really bad from someone with, extraordinary sensitive nerve endings or so on. And I get it, that if you haven't really hurt yourself in your life, it's hard. I get that as well. But if you're using all of this, especially pathetic things, to seek attention and to seek sympathy and empathy, I'm sorry, you're not going to get it. Because that is how everyone works. It is relative to your own experiences, and it is also very much connected to how you behave. If you're a troublesome person, you are not almost ever likable. And if you're not likable, you won't get sympathy. That's how it works. That's how a social creature like the human works. We struggle feeling empathy for those who in any way do us unright. We are very quick to categorize people. I think that is a fundamental thing of us, basically. So yeah, empathy, sympathy, all of those things, they are constantly affecting us, constantly an issue. And yeah, I think the key is quite simple. You have to accept what you are. And if you can't do that, don't expect anybody else to be empathic with your thing. Don't ever expect anybody to respect your boundaries, your needs, your cries for helps, your moaning, your anything. If you're not being very much accepting and friendly. It's as simple as that, really. Anyways, I hope you're doing great. Until the next video, this is the Borderline Man, signing off.